Before I start this video, I want to point out to anyone who's going to watch it that among most of us, and I still do it occasionally, unintentionally, and I'm thankful when Yahweh points it out to me, but there's a particular scripture in Proverbs chapter 18, is verse 13, that we violate. And that scripture, to quote it, is, "A man that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him." So what that means is that if you have already decided what the outcome is going to be, it doesn't matter what someone shows you or says to you. That's the only outcome that you can see or will see, because you've already answered or you've already decided the matter before it was ever even presented to you. That being said, watch the video, because if you have decided that it doesn't matter what I say in this video, you're in violation of Proverbs 18:13 along with a whole lot of other scriptures, because I may say something that you've never considered, heard, or thought of before. Anyway, without further ado, I will get into what I'm talking about. Howdy, folks. I hope you're doing well today, and welcome to installment number 2 of Debunking the Flat Earth. The first video that I've made and uploaded is an astounding success. I have had quite a number of flat earthers come by and comment, and a very, very large number of views in a very short period of time. In less than 24 hours, I've got well over 20 views on this one video. So, anyway, I'm deleting the nasty comments, so as you can imagine, there aren't any flat earth comments, because flat earthers don't know how to make nice comments, or they don't know how to be nice about things. So anyway, this video is going to be a little bit shorter than my average video, which I'm thankful for. Actually, I've been trying to get them to shorter. There is a video on YouTube, and I will cut it into this video here, where someone is in Monument Valley, Utah, with a 360 camera. And to give a short, succinct, easy to understand description of a 360 camera, what it basically is like taking say GoPros, for example, and putting them back to back and recording. Now, the 360 view is actually fully 360 degrees, and it's not just two back-to-back views, so it's one complete spherical video that when you get it into your editing software, you can literally unroll it. So it's like recording the inside of a ball, and then you cut that ball open and spread it out and make it flat. So what it does is it catches the motion on both sides. So what they did is they took this 360 camera out to Monument Valley, Utah at night and recorded the stars in a time-lapse type of fashion, so you can actually see the star trails as they move through the sky, which they're not actually moving. I say you can see the stars as they move through the sky as a perspective statement, meaning that it's actually us that's moving, which everything in the universe is in motion all the time. So, but relatively speaking, because of the great distances involved, it appears as if though the stars are basically stationary and it's us that's moving. Or actually, it appears that the stars are moving and we're stationary from our perspective. But if we were standing on another object in the universe, then the Earth would appear to be moving and the object that we were on would appear to be standing still. But again, that is perspective. This video that this person made records star trails on opposing sides, so 180 degrees out from each other. So when you unroll the video and lay it out flat, you actually have two circles that are turning in opposite directions. I'll like I said, right here, I'll cut that clip in and then you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, now that you have seen that clip and you see that there are two circles of stars moving in opposite directions of one another, I'll explain why that's what you see with the 360 camera. Alright, right now I am facing in a roughly eastwardly direction. Alright, so the sun comes up in that direction and it sets over behind me. So that would be like this if the sun were directly overhead, which it's not because I'm north of the equator, so the sun is actually south of me. So that's south and that's north. So just for perspective's sake, we'll say, let's say that I'm standing on the equator. Alright, so the sun passes directly overhead when you're standing on the equator. Well, if I have a 360 camera set up and I'm looking south, then the stars are going to be moving in this type of a circular direction. Okay, you with me so far? Well, if I'm still standing on the equator and I look north, the stars are going to be moving in the same direction. You know, prospectively speaking. Now, when I turn and face them, you know, this to me is counterclockwise. And when I face the other way, this appears to be clockwise. Okay, you with me so far? So when I'm facing south, the pattern or the trail of the stars is in a clockwise circular motion. Okay, when I turn and face north, it's in a counterclockwise circular motion. But you see, prospectively, direction-wise, they're actually moving in the same direction. All right, so this is what the 360 camera sees. It sees the stars moving in the same direction. But when you take that video and unroll it, so when you lay it out flat, what does it do? All right, this is what it does. So, all right, my sun and stars are rising in the east and they're setting in the west, and I'm running into my chains. All right, so it continues to move like this. All right, well now we'll unroll the video, so to speak, so you can see what's happening. Look, they're turning in opposite directions. All right, so now that we've got that established, and anybody can see this, you just walk outside at night, or even during the day for that matter, and watch the path of the sun through the sky. You know, it works better at night because then you can see stars on both sides of you. It works best if you can record it, because then that way you don't have to stand there for, 15, 20 minutes and watch a star move, because it's really, really, really hard to see them move, because perspective-wise, their movements are so slow, so you have to observe them over a long period of time. Now, let's look at something from another perspective. Let's say that the Earth is flat. Let's say that the Earth is just a flat disk, okay? If the firmament is a glass-like dome over the flat Earth, and the stars are somehow lights or something embedded in this flat firmament dome over the Earth, or not flat dome, I'm sorry, dome over the flat Earth, all right, what you would see is, when you look relatively level or horizontal, to the stars closest to the horizon that you can see, and this dome is turning, and that's how the sun rises and sets and the stars change position and all of that. The stars are going to move parallel, or the ones closer to the firmament to a certain degree are going to move, not parallel, I'm sorry, in lower elevations on the firmament, they're going to move parallel to the horizon. And I apologize for my tongue twisted. It happens sometimes. So they're moving parallel to the horizon. Okay, and for all intents and purposes, you should be able to stand dead smack in the center of the flat Earth and focus a camera on one single star, and you should be able to track that star all the way around the firmament as it turns until it comes back to its original starting point that you started filming it at. That's not how it works. The stars literally dip below the horizon. Well, that wouldn't work on a glass dome firmament. So the next thing is standing anywhere below the Arctic Circle. You take a camera and point it up at the sky at night to record the star patterns. If you're on a flat Earth, they should still move in a circular motion, staying on a horizontal parallel plane to the horizon. Being underneath them, they're still going to make a circular pattern as such, but all of them would be turning in the same direction. And anywhere that you went from the center to the edge of the flat Earth, looking straight up, the stars are going to continue to move in the same direction in a circular motion. That's not what happens. In the northern hemisphere, if you're, let's say, standing on the North Pole and you look up, they turn in one direction. On the South Pole and you look straight up, they turn in the opposite direction. Clockwise and counterclockwise. It's perspective. This doesn't work on a flat Earth at all. It is not possible. So anyway, I am sure that I'll get some more pleasant comments from you flat earthers, you know, posting your links to your videos and stuff like that. And but at the risk of upsetting some of the atheists, and that's not my goal, because scientifically we're on the same page, at least about some of the cosmology. You know, there's no such thing as evolution. There's no such thing as the Big Bang. There's no old Earth or an old universe. You know, because I believe what's written in the Bible. I've seen enough evidence of it in my own life and in the world in general that I believe it fully. You know, so there's no question about it there. But all Scripture is given by Yahweh, and all Scripture is profitable for learning, but not all Scripture is as clear as y'all seem to think it is. You know, to take a verse or two out of Job that talks about the foundations of the earth and stuff like that doesn't mean what you think it means. You need to read the whole chapter and grasp the concept that's being laid down there. Because it doesn't literally mean that there's a foundation that the earth sits on, like the foundation that my house sits on. You know, one is conceptual, like the Torah is the foundation of our faith. That's not a flat thing that we stand on, is it? Conceptually, it's the foundation. So, anyway, if you're going to comment, don't be ugly about it. Because if your comments are ugly, I'm going to delete them. If your comments are ridiculous, I'm going to delete them. And yes, I'll be the judge of what I think is ridiculous. Anyway, I hope that some of y'all will try to see the truth in what you can see with your own eyes and stop believing what the flat earth cultists are spoon feeding you, because they're lying to you. All that being said, Yahweh bless.